everybody. Sorry I'm looking all scary. I did a little wax on my face to remove the unnecessary hair that we grow as women. Sucks, huh? All kinds of crazy. So I'm prepping for dinner. I'm actually gonna be doing the masa de puerco frita. And because you always need to cook the beef before you fry it, I'm actually gonna cook it in my Instant Pot because it'll be super fast, super quick, and then I'm gonna toss them in the frying pan. So it's gonna be in the frying pan, no, in the frying machine. So and deep fry it with a lot of oil. It's gonna be so good. So I'm gonna show you it's super easy. All we're gonna do is season the beef, the pork. I'm sorry, it's pork chunks. So I have a quarter of a pork shoulder here. This is about 3 to 4 pounds. I'm gonna go ahead and wash it. I'm gonna get a knife and literally cut it in chunks about, I would say, not tennis ball size. Golf ball size, a little bit bigger than that. All right, I've cut up my Masitas. I'm gonna show you the size of that. I do leave fat on them. Why? Because it tastes better. But some of them have fat, some of them are pretty lean, but I like to give a little bit of my fat, leave it because it does leave a lot of flavor on the meat. So I'll show you the size. I showed you the size now. I'm gonna bring my bowl here. So as you can see, there's a lot of volume here. It's gonna take up probably half of my Instant Pot. So prior to that, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that every single piece is seasoned well. I'm going to use the Chef Merito meat seasoning, as well as the Chef Merito garlic salt. I always use these, guys, and you probably never see it happening, but these are garlic salt and the meat seasoning are ones that I kind of always use. I prefer them over Goya and all the other ones. I also have cumin and oregano. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna give measurements on this because I literally have so much volume in here that I don't want to give the wrong measurements for something else. So more importantly, just coat every single, you just make sure you season your meat well with those 4. If you have an all-purpose seasoning, you can use that as well. I would also add in a little bit of salt, some garlic, but really whatever you use to season, pretty much all season in here. We are not going to be browning because obviously browning will happen when we fry it. And I'm probably going to say it out there. If you do not want these fried, you can just do the first step and not fry them at the end. But I like to have that crustiness outside, that nice oily masita de puerco with the mojo sauce on top. Now, because the Instant Pot makes the meat so tender, I don't want to put it in there for the normal 30 to 40, 35, 40 minutes because I don't want it to be so tender that it falls apart. I want it to be cooked through, tender, but still intact so that I can toss it into the frying machine. So all you're gonna do right now, we're gonna go ahead and place the whole bowl of the chunked pork. And as I mentioned before, it will take up half of your Instant Pot. Once that happens, you're gonna go ahead and either use, you can either do 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of garlic minced or 4 to 6 garlic cloves and just basically sprinkle it on top. And on top of that, I like to always drizzle olive oil on top of that as well. If it likes to come out, there we go. Drizzle some olive oil. And at this point, we're gonna go ahead and add our liquids. Now, I can already see that I have a crap ton of volume. So what you wanna see in any recipe done in the Instant Pot is that there's enough liquid to cook and not to burn your food. So by looking at I already probably need 2 cups. So I'm gonna add my 2 cups of beef broth and see where the liquid is at that point. And I only have 1 1/4. Let me get more. All right, so as you can see, I hate saying that so many times, but you know, There is pretty much a lot of liquid in there. That's 2 cups, but to be on the safe side, I'm going to add 3 cups total, or 2.5. Now, this measurement can change for you, because if you're not doing 3 or 4 pounds, then you don't need that much liquid. So if the liquid is covering your meat, it's too much. But if it's sitting right under it, I think that's always the right amount. I've never had any problems with it. So last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna actually cut up an onion in half. I need to peel mine, so it'll be a little bit. Give me a second. What we're gonna do is cut it in half. You can cut it into 4s, but I like to keep it in half. All this is gonna do is bring those juices down into the meat. So I'm gonna place it right on top. Later on, we will use the full onion for the mojo. So do not worry about it, just let it sit whole. That way later on, you don't have to like wrestle with the onions and try to find them. So we're gonna go ahead, close our pot. Shit, I got onion in my eye. Make sure your vent is placed to seal, and you're gonna put it on high pressure for 30 minutes. All right, guys, my Instant Pot beet, it's been sitting for 10 minutes, and I just did a quick release on whatever steam that was left, which obviously was not a lot. So, as you can see, we got some yummy masitas ready to go. All right, guys, I had to get my stuff. So, see how the onion's sitting on top? The onion's completely cooked, but your pork got that flavoring. So go ahead and discard the onion and put it in there just like that. Set it aside. And what you're gonna start doing right now is basically taking out the meat and straining it. I mean, I'm usually taking it out, but I like to really let it dry. I have to be super careful because it's already breaking. So, but I did want it to cook all the way through. So be very careful when you're taking out the meat so that you can still have chunks at the end of this ride. We're gonna move back over here to my non-instant pot stuff. I have yet to buy a air fryer. And if you do have an air fryer and you're gonna do this recipe, I would definitely like to know if the air fryer will make this a real masa de Puerco Frita. This is why we use the real shit. Now, this shit is so dirty you don't even know. Not dirty, but llena de manteca. I use lard. I don't use regular oil, corn oil. I use full lard. Usually it's white. Once it melts, it turns into the lard color. So I'm gonna do 2 pieces. It's so tender, it's already falling apart. All right, there's 2 pieces, and we are going to go ahead and fry them. Now, I don't know with the air fryer, but this will be done in like 2 or 3 minutes. You can, I closed it because I don't want it to salpicar, but in a little bit I'll be able to open it and I'll be able to see the color. Just dip it back in and out to see if, you know, what kind of coloring you like. I like it to be crispy on the outside with that gold brown coloring flavor. I mean, look. All right, in less than 2 minutes, you got your masita de Puerco Frita. Look how delicious that looks. Now is when you do my favorite part. Toss a little bit of mojo on top. Pair it with rice, white rice, tostones, maduros, whatever you guys like. If you're on a diet, this is not gonna work for you, people. Okay? But the taste is amazing. So if you try it, let me know. If you have any questions, DM me.